Hey everybody, how we doing today? Oh my gosh, thanks for the resub, Galactababe. The intro's nuts. Thank you guys. Right off the bat, I'm gonna apologize for not and I know you guys are gonna tell me not to apologize, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm not bringing the same energy that I normally would to the stream. If you guys saw my Instagram story, I came home. I got home at like 1:30 or something. It was a long drive back from Arizona after WonderCon. After did I put WonderCon recap? I meant to put Game On recap. I probably should change. Okay, thank you. Thank you, V. So I came home. I got home really late. And I woke up this morning and basically the first thing that I found out was that my cat went missing. Not Leo. Leo's here. He's okay. But Luna is gone. I don't know where. We've looked for her, and her, thanks everybody. Her air tag is not responding, and she's not coming by any of the, we tried shaking the food and calling for her, and I don't know where she is, but she's always come home. That's the thing. She's always come home. She was born a feral cat. Well, her mom was a feral cat. She was, her mom had kittens and they were given away by a client of mine. We took one. Gosh, she must be, how old is she? Maybe like 7 or 8. I don't exactly remember. That makes me a bad dad, maybe. But yeah, she's always loved to be outside, just like her mom, I think. Always loved to be outside, and I never liked the idea of putting cats outside for this reason. Statistically, they live a lot less long lives. They live shorter lives than cats who are indoors. But she always loved being outside. She would go outside. I shouldn't even talk about this. It's going to make me emotional. She would go outside. She would love to like flop down on the cement. She would just bring you outside, just meow at you until you follow her outside. And she'd go outside and she'd flop and roll down on the cement. She loved it. And sometimes that's all she wanted. And she wasn't the most affectionate cat. She liked to be independent and go out and do her own thing, and didn't really like to be held or anything like that. But when you got to pet her, it was really special. So, anyway, I don't know. What happens? Picked up by a bird. She's a runt. She's pretty small for being an adult cat. Hit by a car. I suppose that's a possibility, but we haven't seen anything. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes not knowing is harder than knowing, So, yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's hard. Your friend's cat came home after 4 years. I heard that. How'd she get outside? We let her outside. She would go outside. She loved to be in the backyard. And our cats, our cats were always so good. We'd let them in the backyard and they would pretty much stay in the backyard. While Luna would kind of go out. She wanted to go out at night, so we'd let her out. And she'd always be back in the morning. We'd go to the door. We'd go to the back door, and she'd always be there on the, on the sliding glass door. Paws up, excited to come back in and eat. Or she'd be on our little, we have a little outdoor sofa. She'd be out there sleeping, ready to come back inside. So she was always there, always coming home. In fact, we made some notes. For a pet sitter that we had recently, and we just had them on the table, and I was looking at them, and there was a note that said, if Luna gets outside, or she goes outside, it's okay. She'll always be back. So, not always, I guess. But who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those things where, she finds her way back after a few months or something. I don't know. That's funny, Magpie. Yeah, who knows? She's a very skittish cat, like she I wouldn't say skittish, just cautious, like if you walked, that's why I'm like, nobody would pick her up, because she's like very cautious. Even if I would like walk by her, she would sprint, like you pass each other in the hallway, and I'd be walking normally, and she'd be looking until she had a moment, and she'd dart, phew, got past it, So, I don't think anybody would have grabbed her, but yeah, hopefully. Really, I hope that's the case. Maybe we'll have I don't know, a future stream where I present her again, prodigal daughter. But today it hurts. So I appreciate you guys giving me some understanding, and pets are family members, so it's hard when somebody goes missing. So, all right. Well, that being said, I'm super not in the mood to play to stream a game online. I hope you guys understand that. So today, I just thought that I would kind of recap the weekend, because outside of that news, I had a really fun weekend. And I wanted to tell you guys about it. So, thank you guys for the resubs. I appreciate it. So, first thing, let's see, where do we begin? Friday. So I got in, and I knew that the Baldur's Gate cast. So who's there? Let's see, who's there? The voice actor for Minthara, Emma Gregory, was there. Andrew Wincott, who voices Raphael, was there. Scott Joseph, who plays the Emperor, was there. Dave Jones, obviously. Theo was there, who plays Will. Jane Perry was there, who is the voice of Mystra. Tim, and then Sam, who plays Karlach, was there. And so I was like, wow, this is like a stacked cast. Last year was, Tavora and Neil and like that group, but apparently they kind of travel in groups. So they don't often do the same. Yeah. Anyway, so this was the group that traveled to this con, and I was like, you know what? It's Friday. I didn't want to wait until Saturday. I was like, I know I'm not even in Baldur's Gate cosplay today. I was Red Dead Redemption. It was Arthur Morgan. But I was like, I got to go meet Dave. I don't want to miss my opportunity to meet Dave, because Saturday is going to be super busy, and I'd already seen like Samantha's line and Tim's line and Andrew's line, and they were really, really long. And I'm like, if Dave's long, I can't not be there. So I was like, let me just go meet Dave. So I get in line for Dave, and I was thinking, you know what? They have pictures when you go up there. They have pictures you can buy, and they'll autograph. But I have my own pictures. I have my own pictures of me in cosplay. So I wait in his line. It's not that long yet. I get up there and I go, hey, Dave. I was like, Dave, and I was going to show you guys. It's buried somewhere. I haven't really unpacked yet. And I'm like, Dave, so nice to meet you, man. Is it completely narcissistic of me to ask you to sign a cosplay of me in your character's cosplay? And he's like, and he just kind of looked at it, and Oh, we're on a break. Dang it. I wanted to kind of. Should I wait, you guys? Should I wait to finish the story? I probably should wait. All right. Well, does anyone have any questions while I wait to finish the story? Hi, subs, by the way. Thanks for being here with me. Dave is silly. Yes, he is. Thank you for the band mods. Yeah, Dave was super nice. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Dave was like the fucking nicest. What was meeting Laura like? Laura's wonderful. Laura was there. Laura flew in from Scotland, and yeah, she was very, very wonderful. She was very nervous, but I would be too. You know, you fly across the country. Thank you, Horror. I appreciate it. I need it. But traveling solo is, you know, is scary, especially right now. Thanks, Undead. Yeah, that's what Laura said. Laura said, I shake every time I meet somebody new. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I wanted to wait until I finished the story, so I didn't want you guys to miss out. So, where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, so I get into, I go and I meet Dave. And I'm like, hey, Dave, I brought your cosplay of myself. Would you mind signing it? And I think it took him a second. He looked at me, because I had my beard, right? And he looked down and he goes, oh my God, is that you? And I said, I was like, yeah, that's me. And and it clicked, and he goes, oh my God. And he came around the desk and he gave me a huge hug. And it's not like one of those hugs. That's the thing about Dave. It's not like one of those hugs that's just like, all right, you know, it's like he really embraced me, you know. It was just, yeah, it was a bear hug. It's just one of those like, you know, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. So nice. And so he was like, oh my God, like so nice, you know, like it took, the way I took it was he'd seen my stuff before, which I know he'd commented on it and stuff, but you know, sometimes it's easy to forget. Anyway, and he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I brought him a picture he could sign, and then I brought him a picture he could have, the one with me and Penny. And I said, you know, here you are. And he was so grateful and gracious in his response, and you know, was really appreciative. And this was really cool. This is the same thing with like Elia when I met him the first time. He was just it seemed like he was really in awe of like cosplay and like the art of it, and it was really cool. And it was really, really cool. So I was like, okay, man, like, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I was like, hey, also, by the way, I wanted to know if, so I had an idea. So you guys remember, okay, by now you've seen it. So ultimately I told him I wanted to make this video, tomorrow. And I was like, I was wondering, since I'm a guest, I was a guest at the convention, right? Like I was a guest cosplayer. So I got to go in early whenever I wanted. And I said, I'd love to make like a little video of you. This is my idea. Would it be okay if I, you know, would you be down for that? And he was like, I'll tell you what, I don't know what time I'm getting in. I'll send you a DM. And I was like, I hadn't given him my handle yet. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'll send you a message, and then we can, you know, we can chat about it. And I had, you know, I didn't think he would DM me, cause he's fucking busy doing other shit. Like I'm probably the lowest of the priority, but I sent him a message like a couple of hours later. And I was like, hey Dave, super nice to meet you again. You know, let me know what time you're getting in. Well, he messaged me a little bit later that night, and he said, hey mate, I'll be in probably around 11. I'm like, okay, cool. So a little, you know, that's when the general admission starts, but I was like, that's totally fine. So I was hoping they'd be in there like 9, right? So I could just get in, go run down the line and get a video with everybody. It didn't work that way. That's okay. So I get in there and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just gonna wait in the line. So I wait in the line to get with Dave, and so I and I had shaved at this point, obviously, So I get in there, and he was like super excited to meet the owlbear and to meet Penny, and I was like, this is my idea. Like, are you down for it? And do you think that I could maybe get a video with everyone else? And he was like, well, you certainly could do it with me first. And I was like, all right, cool. That's good enough for me. I didn't expect him to go, yeah, come on back. I'll lead you down the line, even though that's what I was hoping for. And I didn't want to ask for that, obviously, I wanted to be respectful of everyone else's time as well, the cast and the other attendees. But it's jarring seeing me without a beard. I know. Every time I look in the mirror, I feel the same way. But so I waited in Dave's line. We do the thing. And then I went over and Scott Joseph, who plays the Emperor, there's like nobody in this line, which, he's so nice. Obviously, he's probably not going to have the same kind of responses like Tim or somebody. But I was like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So I go over to him and I go pretty much right up. I was just behind somebody and he is like so nice. And I was like, hey, man, would you mind doing this thing? I also want to be respectful of your prices. Like, if you want me to pay. And he didn't mention it, And so I was like, okay, it's just going to be a quick 5-second video. And we do it. And he's so nice. He's so tall. He's 6'5". Anyway, we do the video. And it was really cool. And so I took off. And then I went and waited in... Who was next? Oh, then I went and waited in Emma's line. And this, was it Theo? Oh, you're right. Okay, so I waited in Theo's line. And Theo was so nice. He was really cool. Waited in there. I got up there and I told his handler, hey, I'm making content for the con, which is true. They wanted me to make content and tag Game On and stuff like that. So I told the handler that I was with the convention, and she's like, okay, cool. I'll bring it to Theo. And, so when I got up to the front of the line, I came around and we did the bit and we started talking, and he was like, oh yeah, this reminds me, I was just in Costa Rica, and the toes on Penny's toes, remind me of the sloths. And I was like, were you out like hunting for sloths, Theo? And he was like, yeah, man, I went and chased them down. They're hard to catch, which is weird, right? Because they're so slow, but they're like up in the trees. And, I was like, oh, that's so cool, man. He was like, yeah, it was really cool. And so he was really nice. I was like, cool, thanks, man. Great to meet you. And then I went and waited in Emma's line. And Emma plays Minthara. And I went to her handler, right? You go to talk to the handler, and we talk to whatever. And I was like, hey, so and Rhea was with me. Rhea was my handler all weekend. She was amazing. I know she doesn't like when I tell everybody, but I just want to shout her out. She was so fucking great and gave me the idea to ask the handler if I would if there's anybody we could talk to. Yeah, Rhea did work nonstop. So I was like, Rhea, that's a great idea. Talk to the handler. Hey, I'm with Game On. I'm one of the cosplayers, and I'm wondering if there's someone I could talk to about making some content for the convention. Like with a couple of the cast, I only need like 3 more. And she was like, oh yeah. Like, let me just send a quick text message and like, just wait right over there. I was like, cool. So she sends a text and she's like, just wait right there. Okay, cool. Waiting. Just a couple of minutes. And then 2 people come over, right? and they'll wave me over, and they're like, so like, what do you want to do? And I was like, this is my idea. And I just need Andrew, and I need Tim, and I need Sam. And one of the, turns out to be their agents. One of their agents is like, oh, I know who you are. I follow you. And I was like, I'm sorry. Well, that makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? Probably, hopefully. And so I was like, cool, amazing. So this is my idea. I'm just like, okay, cool. They're like, yeah, I think we can probably do that. Tricky part is we got to find the time because it's almost this time. And I was emceeing the cosplay competition. And that's why I was like, I would have waited in the lines, but I have like an hour and a half before I have to go and MC the cosplay competition. And she's like, okay, well, come back at 3. I'm like, all right, I'll come back at 3. Well, at 2:45 that morning, I had purchased. I decided, you know what, I'm going to splurge. When is the next time I'm going to meet the cast, right? So I splurged on a big picture with the entire cast, right? Well, you know, everyone was there. And it was at 2:45. Then I had to be back at 3, right? So 2:45 comes. I walk in there. I grab a picture with the whole cast. Okay? Is it lovely? Yes, it's lovely. Everybody loves Penny. Okay? Very cute. I know. Oh, don't worry. I will be framing it, putting it somewhere in the wall. I'm an honorary member of the Baldur's Gate. Yes, I'm now in the camp, I think. He literally said that. Yeah, you can see Dave, he's holding up. He said, oh, because I'd showed him the toe beans, and he was like, oh, we got to get the beans. You got to look at the beans. So I'm like, okay, this was amazing. So nice, right? So I walk in, we take the picture. When you do something like that, it's very quick. You walk in, everybody's set, take the picture, and you leave because they have to get through, right? So they as I'm leaving, one of the agents that's sitting in there that I talked to earlier was sitting in there, and she comes to me. She's like, Adam, I know we said 3, but we've got to do these. They're doing the group, and then they're doing just pictures, like 3 of them. And so I'll tell you what, come with me. I'm going to put you back here in the green room. And then because we have to walk through the green room to get back to the signing area. So just stay here. And then as we're walking through, we'll grab some videos. And I was like, sit. Cool.
You've chosen to follow Ultimate Hero. Wise indeed. Stay close. Things can get wild.
Thank you, best friend, Dave. Thank you, Ink Son. How are you, my friend? So I'm walking back. So I go back in the green room, right? And I sit Penny down in the chair, and I'm just standing back there, and I'm looking around. And eventually, Andrew comes walking by. Andrew comes back, and they had kind of told him, and as Andrew's coming back, Dave is like with him, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, here we go. And they introduced me, and I'm like, so nice to meet you, Andrew. Here's my idea, and he's kind of looking at me, and he goes, okay, so like, what do you want me to do? Like, where do you want me to do it? And I'm like, let's go against this black backdrop here. And the thing was, so Rhea was filming for me all day, but they didn't. They were getting pictures as well, and so she was taking pictures after my group, so she didn't get to come back to the green room. So I was like, well, shit, who's gonna film for me? And Dave's like, you want me to film for you? I was like, you want to? Yes, sure, Dave. Here you go. Here's my phone. So the video of me meeting Andrew and doing that was filmed by Dave. And so Yeah, he touched my phone. So he's the cameraman. And I'm like, okay, so Dave, here's what I want you to do, right? I'm like, I want you to, have this much space in front of his head and like make sure you get full body and all this stuff, right? So the director of photography, Dave Jones, exactly. I'm gonna put that on his resume. So Andrew is a complete dork. He's just so funny, and he was like, you guys, if you guys watched the TikTok video I posted, it's the full clip of him. He's just having his fun. He's got Penny, and he's kissing her. He's like giving a little tug, and then not that sounded weird, but he's like giving a little, just being goofy, and then he like chokes her. I'm like, okay, this is very, very Raphael coded, and he's so funny, and he just keeps going. And I'm trying to go like, okay, thank you. I didn't want to take too much of his time. I want to be respectful of his time, but he's just having a good time, And anyway, so I'm like, cool. Thank you so much, man. Really nice to meet you. Well, then they're like, okay, like we got to go back, but Andrew stays. He's getting coffee, and so it's just me and Andrew basically, and we're just talking about. He's so nice, and I'd heard this like the day before. People are like, he's taking his time with everyone. He spent 15 minutes with somebody, And hi, Queen Toe Beans. That's so nice. Thanks for being here. You guys took a picture of me every day. It was so cool. I was really happy when people came by my booth. There was a lot of people who wanted to come and take pictures and get prints signed. So I love that you came by. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. You were in line to meet him over 2 hours. Yeah. It was worth it. He's such a nice, like when you actually get up there. Yeah, that was the cool thing, is that he didn't rush you, But anyway, it was the same sort of thing backstage, as he was like, I call it backstage because I used to work for Disney, and that's what we call it. Just, behind the curtains. So he's just so nice. He just was really curious. The way I describe it, he's a curious guy. He likes to get to know you. And he was asking me about like what I did for work, where I was from. We talked about where he's from and like where I live now and all these things. So we just were talking, and we were talking about like his theater background and things like that. It was really cool. So very nice guy. And so he takes off, and then Tim comes back. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm so nervous. Right? So Tim comes back, and I wish, you guys, I wish I could have filmed this entire interaction. He is so funny. He's so funny. Just genuinely hilarious. So he comes back, and so Tim is Gale, right? And he comes by, and I'm like, hey, Tim, so nice to meet you. Here's what I want to do. And he's like, okay, cool. So we get in there, and we go to the same backdrop, and he's like, can I do anything? And I'm like, sure. What are you going to do? So you guys saw the video, right? He pretends that he bites him, and oh my God, it's just hysterical. And the agent was one that videoed for this one, and she just was, we were all laughing, both the agents and myself were just laughing. This dude is so funny. And then after that, she was like, you should do a bow after. Oh, you met Tim? Yeah, he's just so nice. He's so nice. Thank you, Kaylu. I appreciate it. She was like, you should do a bow. And I don't remember the name of the bow, but it's a kind of bow that you do on stage. And if anybody knows the name of the bow, do it. But he was like, I wish I could do it to show you how funny, but he was just like, I can't even do it. He was like standing, and he was like, he like did a bow like this, and he pointed. He's like, you always got to point. You always got to find someone and act like, you're surprised they're there, or you're, and like did this. And then he like hopped back and he did this. He is just so funny. So I wish to God that she'd recorded that that name, or that bit, because it was hysterical. So your daughter told Dave he was her favorite character, and she Oh, and Tim barged over and was like, whoa, we're all here. Yeah, he is. He is so funny. Yeah, it's sort of like a curtain call, Bao, but it's something called something else. But anyway, he called it something else. But yeah, it was something like it after a curtain call. And so it was so funny. And I was like, thank you so much, Tim. Super nice to meet you. So he goes on, does this thing. And then I wait a little longer, and Sam comes. Well, actually, before Sam comes, a security guy comes by. And he's like, "Hey, do you have a badge?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, here's my badge. I'm a guest of the con." And he's like, "Oh, well, this area is just for like whatever, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, well, one of the agents told me to be back here. Like, it's cool." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm just doing my job, man. No problem." Then Sam comes by, and Sam is like so excited. Dave was so nice. I gave him a little plush I made, and he looked it over for a minute before grabbing an extra print and signing it for me without another word. That's so nice. Yeah, he's so freaking. I can't wait to tell you guys. I have even more stuff about Dave, you guys. So Sam comes, and they are so nice. They were super excited to be a part of it, it seemed like. And so I'm there with Penny, and they also were like, "Hey, do you also they're like, I'm gonna walk in." Same thing as Tim did. Tim was like, "I'm gonna walk in," and he did his bit. And Sam did not see Tim's, but did the same sort of a thing. So Sam's like, "I'm gonna walk in." I'm like, "Okay." All of those things, I didn't know what they were going to do. Actually, that's the lie. Sam did tell me. They were like, in the game, Karlach gets so excited that she scares off the owlbear. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm like, okay, cool. So they come in, and you saw they did their little, super excited, like knees up, excited dance. And I can't remember. Is there anything else after that? I don't know. But they were super nice, and yeah. It was a great interaction, and I was like, wow, okay. I think that's all. Oh, that is a lie. Before I went backstage, it doesn't matter the order of this, but I also met with Jane Perry, who voices Mystra. I'll tell you about it after this. Anyway, so anyway, that was everybody, and I was like, very cool, thank you so much. And the voice actor's like, come on, or the agent's like, okay, you can head out this way. This is how you get out. She's like, it's very easy to like get lost around here. And I was like, okay, cool, no worries, thank you so much. And I was like, wow, that was freaking amazing. So anyway, I was walking around, sort of like just around that area, and somebody who worked at Game On was like, hey, I've been tasked to come and find you. And I was like, okay, what's up? They're like, Jane Perry over there wants a picture with you. She loves owls. Owls are her favorite bird. And if you come over, she'll give you a free picture. Yeah, whatever. I was like, all right, sweet. So I will admit, I did not know who Jane Perry was. Even in all my playthroughs, I've still never met Mystra. But she was in like Hitman, right? I didn't find out until before the picture, but after that interaction, who Jane Perry was. So she does a couple of things that I had not really known, but I was like, cool. So I go over there, and Jane had just gotten back from like a panel or something, and it was really nice. And she was like, I love owls. Owls are my favorite bird. And I saw this, and I had to get a picture with you. And I was like, amazing. By the way, since I'm here, this is what I'm doing. Would it be okay if I did a video with you? Oh, after we took the picture, she was like, I feel like I owe you $30 or something. Because she wanted it on her phone, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, no worries. Oh, speaking of which, that's one thing that they did. Andrew, Dave, and Sam, maybe also Tim. Maybe it was just Sam, Tim, and Andrew all took pictures of me and Penny and them on their own phones. So that was cool. So anyway, So I did the bit with Jane, and that completed all of them. That was everybody, right? So it was really cool. I was like so excited, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, like I can't believe I just met everybody, right? So I was pretty hyped the rest of the day. So night comes. Yeah, it was so fucking wild. It was so wild. So at that point, like I had met everybody. If you guys haven't seen the picture, this is the picture, and we'd done pictures, right? So now the night comes. Con's over. I go and I change, but I keep the makeup on in the ears because fucking whatever. And we were gonna go to one bar, and then I had to do some work, so I couldn't go out as soon as I wanted to. So probably around 9:30, I finished my work, and my friends were like, hey, we're actually switched bars. We're over here at the Hyatt. And I was like, all right, cool. So I go over to the Hyatt, and I see my friends at the table, and I'm chatting with them, and I'm like, you guys, oh yeah, and I was wearing a Halston shirt as well. So I was wearing this Halston shirt, and I had my Halston paint and my ears. And so I was sitting at the table, and I was like, hey, you guys, I got to tell you about today. It was fucking insane. So I start telling them the story. And I get to a point where I'm like, so I go backstage and I meet Andrew. And Andrew is a yapper. And I meant this in the highest, like I was going to follow it up by saying, but he's like the nicest dude, right? He just is really curious. But I didn't get to that. And I said, Andrew is a yapper. And as soon as I say that, I hear a loud whistle. Oi! It's Dave at the bar with Andrew. Yes, it was. Yeah, he's right behind me. And I'm like, oh my God. So like I go over there and I give Dave a big hug, and I side hug Andrew as well. Hey guys, like what's going on? First of all, I don't know why I behaved like that. Why did I just go and hug Dave? Like, what was I thinking? I should have just said, hello, sir. How are you? I just went in. I got excited. I went and hugged. So anyway, we just start. I don't think they heard. I don't think they heard me call him a yapper. I didn't want him to think like, hey, what is, did you call me that? Anyway, I would have had to, I would have had to explain. That's not a bad thing. But anyway, yes. So it was, so Dave and I and Raphael, Andrew are just chatting it up, and we're talking for like 30 minutes, right? Like I'm ignoring all my friends at this point. So we start talking, and we're talking about everything. It was so nice. We were talking about how the con was, and Dave is like, and we were talking about, their experience and like meeting people. I'm like, how is it going? And they're genuinely two people who are very excited about what they've done. And Dave, especially, I was telling him, I'm like, I know we're not even close on the same level. Obviously I'm like a 1%, and you're like, way the fuck up here. I'm like way down here. But I had a few people come up, to my table and tell me how excited they are about my cosplays and how cool it was to see me in person. And I'm like, that seems it's so fucking weird to me when people say that, because like I feel like I'm just a guy, And he's like, mate, I'm just a guy who lives in like a 2-bed flat, like I feel the same way. And so it's I was just like, yeah,
welcome, little one. Careful. The road ahead is paved with temptation.
Of course, it's Andrew. Thank you, T-Post. I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. Oh, that was one of the other things when I was backstage with Andrew. I told him, I was like, hey, I commissioned, I had you record some lines, and he was like, oh my God, yes, of course. So anyway, he did know. So anyway, so Dave was like, yeah, like I just feel like I'm a guy too. And we started talking about voice acting, and he's like, gosh, we talked about all sorts of things. We talked about Baldur's Gate 4, and they're like, yeah, like they have a high bar if they ever make it. Larian's not doing it, you know, and I did no V. So we talked about voice acting in that industry, and he was like, this job is like a, you know, he's like, man, I love this industry, but it is really competitive, and no work. Like my role as Halsin, he didn't say this, but he was basically saying like, just because you have a big role does not guarantee you for future roles. So it's just really interesting. I'm going to take a break from the story so we can let everybody else come back. But yes. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yeah, for sure. Put an ad in, Adam. Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard. Well, it's hard, Faye, because it's not Larian anymore. Larian doesn't have the rights to do it, I guess. Or they just said they're not going to. I don't know if it's a rights thing, but they just told him no. They're not going to do it. They're going to work on the next game. So whoever does it, and I'm sure they will because money, has a high bar to set. Yeah, probably Phoenix. All right, I'm gonna pop in some eye drops. Where are we at? A couple seconds left. All right, welcome back, everybody. Don't worry, I didn't tell any more of the story. So, I was saying that Dave is like, you know, I feel like so it's so. You bastard, hydrate. All right. Saying that the industry is really competitive, and just because you had a big role does not mean you're guaranteed for future roles. Just basically saying like, hey, just because I was Halsin does not mean I'm going to get other voice acting gigs like this. And he's like, you know, something like this, I feel like I hit the lottery. And it was just, wow, yeah, I can totally understand it. I've worked with voice actors before. Like I have a client that's a voice actor, and she's like, it's hard. It's really hard to get into it. So, wow, really, Rob? That's crazy. Man, the fallout of that is going to be crazy. But so Dave and I are just talking and chatting about like what they're next, you know, what are you guys doing next? And they're like, we're going on vacation to Sweden. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome for you guys. And we talked about cosplay, and we talked about, what else did we talk about? I don't remember. But anyway, I was like, okay, guys, like, he was so cool, and I kind of told him, I was like, you know, this is why I like doing cosplay, because it allows me to be so creative. And I told him, you know, before, I was like, I didn't have to cosplay. This is just a fucking hobby I picked up. Like, I have a whole ass 1 million followers in my other main day job, right? Like, that is my thing. But it was just because, you know, I was like, it was my work. It was my hobby. It was what I did for health. And really, Lex? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to fucking help him put something together or something. That's crazy.
A devil collects debts, but you've donated freely. Are you expecting something in return?
Thank you, Hollyanna. Why is it keep being Dave? It's Dave and Andrew every time today. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, so I just started doing this because it's like a fun creative outlet, you know, and they were really interested, and like just genuinely, it seemed, at least, you know, and it was really cool. And then I told him, I was like, this week has been fucking crazy for me, man. I like told him about the whole thing with Alaya and the, you know, and the Marvel Rivals cast, and then this is happening. And I'm like, this is crazy. Hi, Ayla, how are you? Good to see you. And I'm like, this has been just a wild week for me, man. And yeah, so they just were the nicest people. And by the way, and Dave followed. Oh, I didn't tell you this. Dave followed me back on Instagram. Oh, Faye. Thank you. I don't feel like dancing tonight, but I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So Dave followed me back on Instagram, which was super nice. And then and by the way, I just found out today that Andrew followed me on Instagram as well. That happened today. So yeah, it was really cool. So gosh, what else? Oh, so I was like, hey guys, like I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Such generosity.
Thank you, Magpie.
Keep it up, and I'll perhaps reveal a side of me that you haven't seen yet.
Now it's Dave. Thank you, Magpie. Oh, gosh, you guys. Thanks for being nice to me today. I need it. So I'm like, hey guys, I don't want to take up your whole night. You guys are having a beer. My food just got delivered. I'm gonna go and I'll just go sit and I'll let you guys have the rest of the night. I didn't want to intrude, overstay my welcome. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, he's like, you're not. He's like, I called you over here. I was like, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that, man. So he was so nice, so fucking nice. And anyway, I went over and I had my food and I was like, you know what? I went over there. I was like, you guys, what are you drinking? Let me buy you a beer. So I bought them a couple of beers, and they're like, you don't need to do this. I'm like, I know I don't need to, but I want to. So they let me do that for them, and so yeah, bought them a couple of beers and went back and sat down. And as I was, and then before I left, I was there for maybe another, I don't know, 45 minutes. Then I decided to take off. So I was like, all right, guys, like I'm out of here. And I was telling them about my Bucky cosplay. That's why I was talking about the whole My Rivals thing. And I showed them the picture, and they're like, you got to come by. I want to see it. So anyway, they wanted to see my Bucky cosplay. And as I was leaving, like I was like, all right, guys, I'm retiring for the night. And and Dave, immediately like hug, and then Andrew, gave me a hug as well. And I'm like, God, these guys are fucking nice. What the heck? So I was like, well, we talked a little politics, just a little bit. And then they're like, you know what? Let's not talk about this because, they're like, everybody here has been so nice, and I'm like, because we're all trying to forget what's going on in this country. And they were like, so in it, like on the good side, it seemed like, so we were like, all right, you know what? Yeah, you're so right. Let's not talk about this. Like, so I think it was because we were talking about, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, yeah. It wasn't that we were going to be on opposite sides. It was just that like we all would have been frustrated. You know what I mean? Because it's just crazy, crazy times. So I bought them a beer, said goodnight. They hugged me, and thank you, Nova. Thank you so much, Nova. I love you too. So, yeah. So that was, yeah. Beers to Dave and Andrew hype. So I posted the video that night, right? When I got back to the hotel room, that's what I was working on, editing some stuff. And, hi, Shan. How are you? Thank you, Magpie.
Shake that.
I appreciate you. I hope you had a good wedding. Magpie went to a wedding this weekend. So that was that night. I edited it. Who did that? Nova. Aw, Nova, thank you so much. My gosh.
Gifting subs. My. Greedy and generous all at once.
Thank you so much. Oh, good. Dan's got a sub now? Yeah. Yeah. Namor's voice actor followed me on here as well. Oh, and one thing that Dave told me, I told him about, Elia and how he came in my stream, and he's like, I'll have to come into your stream as well. So You guys got to come because when you're here, Dave might pop in for a cameo. I don't know when, but he said he would do it sometime. So could happen. Anyway, I know. I feel the same thing. I feel the same way. I might just pee myself. Skittles.
Shake that.
Thank you, Skittles. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So that was Saturday, and I posted the video, and it does really well. I think there's like 250,000 views on it, right? There's something like 50,000 likes on TikTok, and I know if Dave's here, I know you guys will lose your mind. And hi, Babbling Brook. I'm glowing. Oh, I feel I honestly am a distressed mess, but thank you very much. So anyway, I go up. So I post the video. Oh, I remember. I posted it actually before we went to the bar. I posted before we went to the bar because Dave brought it up. Dave brought it up. He was like, when he whistled over, he brought me over. He was like, mate, I just saw the video you posted. I just commented on it like 2 seconds ago. And he's like, I love it. I love the way it came out. Right. So he commented on the Instagram.
Generosity.
Magpie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that was the thing. He's like, I just commented on it like 2 seconds ago. So his comment's on the Instagram post. And so that was one of the things that he brought up. I forgot about that. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest. It's all coming back to me in pieces, like as I process what actually happened this weekend. Next day I get in cosplay. Do you guys want to know something? So in Arizona, I probably shouldn't talk about this, but fuck it, whatever. No, you know what? I won't talk about it. It could get me in trouble. Thank you, Nova.
Gifting subs, are we? Kindness
you,
like
Laura.
that deserves more than just a thank you. Perhaps a bear hug is in order.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Nova. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Holly, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys are so freaking sweet. What did I want to talk about? I can't talk about how I got a certain prop in the convention. I won't talk about it. I'll text you, Corgi, if you want me to, and tell you how. I think I told you actually already. But I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, so I the next day take the Dave does give bear hugs. That's true. Dave gives the best hugs. So the next day I go up and I go see Dave, you know, and I was like, Dave, just wanted to kind of come by, show you the metal arm, you know, and check this out. He was like, wow, he's like, that was so cool, man. And I was like, all right, man. Well, I just wanted to stop by before you guys take off. It's the last day, and give you tell you thanks for this weekend. It was really cool for me. And he, I went to go, shake his hand, and he's like, brother, I'm not giving you a handshake. And he comes around here and he gives me a big hug, another big fucking bear hug, and he gave Rhea a hug too. She was with me, and so I was like, thank you. And I think that's what I told him as he was hugging me. I said, thank you for this weekend, man. It was really special for me. And he was like, oh, and he told me that they're going to do another big event. They couldn't tell me what it was. But that I was like, okay, no problem, man. I get it. I'll tell you, I'll keep an eye out, but they're probably going to do another big event, some big something. But later, so the next morning I actually was like, I went up to the agent who was sitting at Dave's booth and I was like, hey, I just wanted to kind of like, I wanted to know, you told me that yesterday you follow me, or Friday you follow me. Could I follow you back? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And so we exchanged contacts. I follow her now as well. So yeah. And then I came back for Dave, met Dave. He hugged me goodbye. And, I said, enjoy Sweden, have a great vacation. And then I will try to come to your next event, you know, whenever that's going to be. And then as I was leaving, I saw Tim at his booth, and nobody was standing. I'm assuming that they cut off the line, but I just went up there anyway. You guys know. Don't they know who I am? No. I was like, hey, I'm just going to pop up there real quick. He's like, okay. So I go up there, it's like a security guy or something. So I go up to Tim, and Tim looks at me and goes, oh, hey. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to say again, thanks for yesterday. It was super cool. Did you get to see the video? He said, no, I haven't seen it yet. And so I popped it up and I showed him on my phone, and he was like, yeah, anyway, he said it turned out great. And I was like, all right, won't take up your time. Just wanted to say, have a good flight home back to London. And, he was very gracious, and yeah, so that was it. And, yeah, it was very cool. And it was a hell of a weekend. Does anybody have any questions? Move, I'm a cult leader. That's what I should have said. If you ever you want to sign your tarot deck, that's awesome. I bet he'd love that. What did I talk about with Tim? We didn't talk much. He's probably the busiest of all of them. So it was just he was just a joker, he was just kind of like did a little, the bow bit that I talked about a little earlier after we filmed our bit. And then he just kind of like dipped out to go sign pictures, I think. These voice actors as actors in the UK are well-known, excellent character actors. Oh yeah, Dave was telling me he's getting into some TV stuff over in the UK. Is Penny indoors now? Yeah, she's sitting in the by a window over there. Thank you guys for helping me get to level 11 hype train. It was really nice of you tonight. I needed that. If you guys are just coming in here, you didn't know. After the weekend, my cat, she went missing. So she hasn't been home in 2 days. So that's why I've kind of like my energy is low, and I'm not like over the fucking moon, because I'll tell you, Sunday I was fucking over the moon. It was a great weekend. And yeah, it was really amazing. I wish I could just I wish I could ride that high, but I was hoping to make it to the con to see you, but I'm having my own pet drama. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's hard. It's hard, I hope for the best for you. Penny's the cutest, and seeing her in person gave me some much needed serotonin. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, Nova was there as well. Nova came down. I got to meet Nova. Well, I'd met Nova, but got to see her again. Thank you, Faye. I appreciate that. I also got to meet Faye. Faye stopped by my. There's quite a few Discord members who came in, and Twitch followers that came in, and I was able to meet and sign prints for you and take pictures with you. So that was really nice. So thank you to everybody who came down and said hi and wanted to meet me. That was really nice. Penny was terrifying.
We love you, Adam.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love you guys. Pet parenting is hard. That's for sure. You're the... Oh, yeah. Yes, I remember now. Thank you. Thank you, Gray. It was great to meet you. Did I behead Penny for anyone else or just Jade? I did not behead Penny for anyone else. Thank you, Raya. I'll talk to you later. So anyway, guys, that's my story. That's my story. That was the weekend. The next big cost plan, I think what I'm going to do, my next big cost plan, now that Bucky's done, and not done because I still want to make some upgrades and stuff, but the next one I'm going to make is...
the ultimate hero. I knew you had good taste.
Ayla, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's so nice of you. Thank you very much. The next one's a nap. No, the next one is going to be Vander from Arcane. Gonna grow the beard out again. The hair is the proper length. Just have to make it. I also have to watch Arcane. Dave told me I needed to watch it. because I introduced my friends Morgan and Kat who cosplay Arcane, and Dave instantly recognized, and this is at the bar, instantly recognized them, you know, in their cosplays, because they always go drink in their cosplays. And he's like, I've watched all of Arcane. He also knew one of the voice actors, Reed, something, the guy that plays Echo. And he was like, I've watched all of Arcane. He's like, I'm on the last, I have 2 episodes left, and I don't want to watch them because I don't want it to end. and I was like, I've heard about that. And he's like, no, he's like, you need to watch it. And I said, okay, Dave, whatever you say, man, I will watch it. I promise. Yeah, Reed Shannon. Yeah, he said he's very nice, very nice. Now I've heard that. I've heard don't play League, just watch Arcane. So I'm not going to play League. Listen, too deep into Marvel Rivals. I can't back out now. But I will watch Arcane. Yes, exactly. If Dave says something, I do it. But yeah, I think I'm going to do Vander. I've already got some help from a couple of my friends who cosplay Arcane and do amazing jobs. So they're going to help me make it, because to be honest, I'm just so tired right now. But I'm going to do a couple of pieces, and then and they're going to help me with some other stuff. So anyway, that's going to be my next one, and that's probably going to be my last one, my last cosplay of the year, to be honest. So we did Bucky and Vander. I think it should be good. If I make you this Vander cosplay, will you wear it? So my friend Toki was like, you haven't fucking seen Arcane? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And I found out that she helps make cosplays for another buddy of mine. I was like, oh, what the fuck? You never made me a damn cosplay. I make my own shit. Why don't you make me one and I'll watch it? How about that? And she was like, that's a big ask. But what's going to happen is I'm going to trade her one of my extra 3D printers, because I have fucking too many already. I was like, I'll give you one of my 3D printers if you help make me cosplay. And she's like, okay, fucking deal. So that's what we're going to do. When's my next con? I don't know. I'm going to say maybe. Probably Anime Expo. To be honest, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just so not in the mood to do anything. I'm like depressed right now because of Luna. Hi, Callie girl. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. I'll send you maple cookies if you print me a new beard clasp. Bro, I got you. I'll print you a new beard clasp. What kind do you want? That's a deal. That's a negotiation gone well. I know. It's not that I'm tired. It's just that I'm sad. You know? So, yeah. Tell me what kind you want. Rob. And what size. I don't know how beard clasps work. Loved your baby owlbear cast meet video. Thank you so much. I know. Dave was just the gentlest man. So freaking sweet and kind. And, yeah, we're buddies now. So, you know, I feel like it's so fucking delusional to say some shit like that. I feel that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, damn, I can't be having fucking parasocial relationships with these people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that fucking one cosplayer. It's like, yeah, I'm fucking friends with this guy. So I'm keeping, you know, even Eli, I'm like, Eli's been the fucking nicest dude to me, and Daniel's been the nicest dude to me. But I cannot, like, until they say we're friends, I can't be like, yeah, we're fucking friends. I know it's more than a parasocial. We've met, you know, but still, it's like, I just kind of joke about it, you know, that we're buddies. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice that we have interacted to the extent that we have. Yeah. I think once you start sharing life stuff, it's more than a parasocial thing. Yeah, that's true. Parasocial, like, yeah, it's more like a one-sided relationship. And I think I think everybody I've interacted with has interacted with me the same amount. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like acquaintance. That's probably better. We're like work friends. We're like not even peers. We're like acquaintances. Yes. Yeah, they're very cool. I'd like to think they think I'm cool as well. But you know, until we hang out, I like the, you know, until they're like, hey, do you want to come out to a beer with us? Then I'm like, okay, maybe we're friends. Yeah, acquaintances is probably the best. Colleagues. We have a mutual respect for each other. Yes. Yeah, once they start sending me memes, you know, they start sending me TikToks. Yeah. Have fun, Gray. So nice to meet you. So that was fun. What a weekend. What a weekend. But guys, I really appreciate you being here with me and being very kind. Being very kind in a stressful day for me. I'm hoping by Wednesday I'm feeling a little bit better and probably play something. I'm thinking we might play something like Repo or something. I'm loving Cult of the Lamb, but I also want to make some content and clips. So maybe we can make something that's a little more exciting and fun and funny. So anyway, the weekend killed you. You stayed home because you're aching. Yeah, you can do that for sure. Nice, Rob. That's freaking awesome. I know, Ashley. Yeah, as much as people would like to see me picking up, you know, sweeping up shit, maybe we play a different game too. We can come back to Cult of the Lamb. That'll still be there. So, yeah, I might need multiple people. But yeah, I think we'll figure something out. All right. Well, guys, I'm not going to stay on super late. I told you guys, you know, it's going to be a short one. I hope you enjoyed the story. It was a fun weekend. If you guys just came in and didn't get to see the picture, that's the picture of everybody. Aren't they freaking cute? So yeah. What do you guys say we go raid somebody and make their night? Would that be okay? You know who we can raid? Let's see. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Oh, Laura, you're about to take off now? Laura's heading back to Scotland. A long trip. It'll breeze by, I'm sure. It'll breeze by. All right. Tell you what. Let's go. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm sure energy will light up someone's life. Thank you. That's so nice. Oh my gosh! Everyone who's going is taking. Everyone I'm going in to try and see if we can raid them is like taking a break or their stuff is ending. I'll tell you what. Let's get in honor of, you know, a Baldur's Gate weekend. Let's join someone who's playing Baldur's Gate 3. What do you guys think? I think that sounds like a brilliant idea. Yeah. Let's see. I'm hoping they have higher energy than I do. That's important. All right. We'll go raid this person, okay? You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Go give them some love, all right? Pop in the raid message. And we'll be back on Wednesday, okay? Today my girlfriend told me I have bought enough Adam snacks. Okay, good. Yes. Send them. I'm ready. I'm ready for those British snacks. All right, you guys, go give some love, and we will see you on Wednesday, same time, okay? I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Talk to you later. Bye.
Confusing, but it looks really cool. It's all like greenery and water with a couple.
A bit shocked, but friend,
Oh.
it's a relief and a
Hello,
pleasure to make your
raiders.
acquaintance.
I was talking about Epic Universe. Hi everyone. How are you doing? What were we playing? Hope you're having a lovely night / day, whatever it is, wherever you are. I have the Tim voice lines. I know, it's like so perfect for a raid, right? Because y'all my new friends. Brilliant stream to join. Help, here. Hi, my name's Julian. I play video games, mostly Baldur's Gate. Here's my cat, Miyuki. Say hello, Miyuki. She's fast asleep. Thank you guys for the follows! How is everyone? Hi, cat.